the awful stigma of mental health. Let's talk about that. Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Alma Valentino. I am the host of my channel, Let's Talk About That. And today I wanted to just make a short video and talk about mental health and the stigmas surrounding mental disorder, mental illness, and all of these terms that we hear so much lately. Because I believe that the woke are actually taking some sort of advantage of this stigma here to make it look like you're insulting people when you're actually just using a medical terminology, nothing to be ashamed of. And it's actually a problem that I believe goes further and it's just massive about almost anything. People just don't believe in doctors anymore. It's like these guys go to school for 8 years and more, and it's like, you know nothing, I know more because I did my Google search. Okay, especially when we talk about mental health and obesity, but we're gonna talk about fat people later. They're gonna get mad about that. Listen, it's not about you today, but if you're fat, you're fat. There is a solution. And by the way, I'm not talking about chubby people. I'm not talking about 10 kilos more. I'm talking about obese, which is dangerous for your health. And it's a medical term. It is not an insult, okay? The only fat-phobic people out there are anorexic. Yes, the rest of us are concerned and, maybe kind of annoyed at this point. But as I said, it's not about you today. Today is about mental issues. Because I've seen that now every time you talk about mental disorders, people get offended. And the most trending mental illness, mental disorder right now is gender dysphoria. I know we talk a lot about that, but it's everywhere. It seems like, come on, it's never gonna stop. Is it gonna be over? By the way, I am very worried for the backlash that all of this is going to have in these people, in gay people and real transgender people. And again, what do I mean when I say real transgender? It's like, I'm not transgender enough. No, I'm not talking about those who are still transitioning and they kind of look still maybe like the other gender, or maybe, a little bit androgynous. No, that's part of the process, okay? I'm talking about people that identifies as transgender. That makes no sense, okay? Because a real trans person doesn't want to be called out. You know what I mean? The whole purpose of transitioning is to live your life as the other gender, so that people will know. Not saying that in a relationship or in certain circumstances you are not to disclose that you are trans, but you don't go out there like, hey, I'm trans, look at me, I'm a woman with a beard and makeup. I mean, I'm a man. I'm clearly a man, but I put makeup, so I'm trans. Hey, I'm trans. No, that's not a thing. That's a trend, okay? But they will take this mental disorder, this term, as an insult to you. And apparently we have to all hide and censor ourselves. Not even doctors can say this anymore, I think. I don't know. You change the words, but you're not going to change the reality, It doesn't matter how you call it. A rose will always smell like a rose. So to avoid hurting these people, to coddle their feelings, and to adapt the world surrounding them. The only community of people you have to do that to, because the rest, you know, we get them to change everything. And it's like, oh, you feel weird about yourself, you don't like your body, change your sex, change your gender. First of all, they're trying to convince you that you can actually change your gender, which is not a thing. You can't do that. What you can't do, and I believe some people actually need, after years of therapy and trying a lot of stuff and saying like, hey, nothing works, I still wake up every day feeling like I'm a man despite the fact that I'm a biological woman, and I went through therapy for 10 years, I don't know, and I took this and I took that medicine and all of this and nothing works. Yeah, you know what? I do believe that maybe in that case, the only thing you can do is go ahead, transition, and live your life as a man. And go through the world as a man. And if that makes you happy, do it. You know, we'd rather you to be happy as a man than, you know, miserable and suicidal as a woman because you have gender dysphoria. But when a kid or a very young person comes and says, I'm not happy with my body, I feel like something's wrong, you have to go through this as a treatment as someone who has a mental issue. And there's nothing insulting or diminishing or disrespectful on saying that. There are all types of mental disorders. There's people who suffer from anxiety, there's people who suffer from depression, and we're not like, oh yeah, sure, go kill yourself. We help them with therapy. This is like saying, I wake up every day and I see myself in the mirror and I feel like I'm so fat. You're like, girl, you're 48 kilos. No, but I need to lose weight. I need to lose weight. Girl, you're 45 kilos. No, but I'm so fat. I'm so fat. I feel disgusting. Like, this is not my body. This is not who I really am. And okay, we're gonna take you to the doctor. And the doctor goes through 3 sessions of therapy and he says like, yeah, you know what, I think you really are a very, very, very skinny, like a skeleton trapped in this flesh. So, you know, we're gonna do a bypass, and maybe if we can make a liposuction, maybe we can get all of the fat that is, you know, whatever it is, and we're gonna take that out, and you know, we're gonna sew this thing in your tongue so you won't be able to eat. And yeah, I think that would be great. I think we can get you to 25 kilos. That would be awesome. So you would feel, you know, you will look like you feel. We don't do that, do we? People who has multiple personality disorder, like the real one, not the TikTokers that are going around right now because they're hysterical and there's this epidemic of young girls who think they have Tourette's and all this stuff. No, I mean the real ones. We don't give them several IDs and social security numbers and insurance, right? Because they are not multiple people. They are ill. They need treatment and help, right? So why are we doing this? Why are we treating this specific mental disorder as something that is a reality you should be able to achieve because it's your true self? It's nonsense. And this agenda, this propaganda, this woke movement is taking advantage of this baggage that comes with mental health and the term mental disorder. to make everyone afraid of talking about this, and to make everyone who has a disorder to feel offended and disrespected, when even a medical professionist points out that you need help, that you have a mental disorder. There's nothing wrong. There's a lot of people who has mental disorders, and there's nothing wrong with you for having one. If you've got diabetes, you don't go and take your diabetes as your identity, right? You go to the doctor and you seek for help and you get a treatment according to your diabetes. That's what you do. So why are we treating this specific illness as something else? Because these people are yelling, oh, transphobic, transphobic, transphobic. No one's transphobic. No one's afraid of you. We're afraid of what you're doing. That's very different. I, and I think a lot of people too, want trans people to be happy, to be their best selves. And that's why I encourage so much the real trans people that they should be angry too, they should get loud too, because the damage this movement is doing not only to kids and society in general, but it's doing to you. It's going to be detrimental. Because the backlash, I don't know what's going to happen to all of the people that are really going to need this. Because till today, we don't have a cure for this. We don't have a pill or a treatment that it's like, oh, you have gender dysphoria, okay, take this and you're going to be cured in 3 months. Or whatever, or take it under control. There is not a cure for it. Most of the time, people who has some sort of gender dysphoria will grow out of it on their own as they develop. Sometimes that doesn't happen. And then they go to therapy for years. I mean, especially before, all of this woke movement. And they try different kind of medicines and different combos, and nothing works. And so they go to the last resource, which is transitioning. So I think there is people who is going to need this, but this trans community is hurting so much trans people that I don't know what's going to happen next. Because at a point, someone's going to say, basta, stop. And I don't know what the reaction is going to be. If they're going to pass laws, if they're going to say, you know what, this is it, we're going to draw the line here, and we're not going to take, any pity for anyone. Because people get angry when people like Matt Walsh talk, and they say, oh, but you're so rude. These people are so rude and disrespectful. You cannot look at Dylan Mulvaney's videos and tell me in the eye that he's not disrespectful towards women. It's a mockery. I thought for a long time that he was mocking people, and he was to come out today and say like, oh yeah, it was all a show, I was laughing because this is ridiculous. That didn't happen, unfortunately. So he goes and it's like, and many of these guys, and it's like, how is his I think it's the first day of girlhood, and it's not even womanhood, it's girlhood. How old are you, Dylan? You're not a girl, for fuck's sake. But he started his journey saying like, I bought things I couldn't afford. I cried 3 times. I said I was fine when I wasn't. And it's like, that's what you think a woman is? That's what you think defines a woman? That's not disrespectful towards all fucking women? Oh no, that's not. But if Matt Walsh says something, how dare he? Right? How dare he disrespect the man that's been disrespecting women for all this time? With his hiking heels and his I don't know what the fuck, right? Oh no, that's okay. But how dare you to be angry? So the same should be said about mental health. Let's stop the stigma and don't let these people convince you that because someone is using these terms, they hate you, they're being transphobic, or they're insulting you, or whatever. They're not. They're just pointing out there is something in your brain that is not right. There's a chemical problem, there's a wiring problem, there's something that is keeping you from living a fulfilling life. What is so wrong about that? It's like saying, hey, you have a health problem, let's try to figure out what it is so you can be cured and get out of the hospital. You're not gonna get mad at your doctor for saying that and trying to figure out why your belly hurts for 3 weeks, right? But if you go and you say like, oh, I think I'm a man. Oh, yeah. Oh, then you're a man. Like, but I'm not a man. Maybe there's something. No, there's nothing wrong with you. Nothing wrong with your brain. You're a man. Obviously. No sense. No sense. So, please, let's try to stop this stigma. Let's be gentle to one another. Let's be nice. But also, when you need to get angry, get angry. Because we're allowed to get angry too. I think that being so polite got us nowhere, but that's another story for another video. Mental health is health as well. So let's accept that. Let's embrace it, everyone. Because there's a lot of people that had problems. So if you feel you're struggling, if you feel you're depressed, if you feel you're anxious, go to see a doctor. Go to see a doctor. Take care of your head as you take care of the rest of your body. That would be my advice for everyone. Literally everyone. So that would be it for today, guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. Consider doing the YouTube things. Give a thumbs up. Maybe subscribe. That would be very much appreciated, so I can keep, posting stuff, so we can keep talking about these things and giving more voices to the silence majority. So thank you again for being here. Comment down below so I can have a talk, because I cannot dialogue in an empty room. I can only echo. Love you so much, guys. See you on the next one. Bye.